so people can be corrupted in their minds, in their thinking, and their thinking is distorted.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes the Bible principles to set things straight. Like Paul says, all Scripture is inspired of God and beneficial for setting things straight. Not only in our thinking, but our conduct and the way we handle problems. Because problems today are and you think of the world out there, look at the problems that people have to handle in the social field, in government, and it's just beyond them. It overwhelms them. Well, to us, that's why if we don't get involved in those things, because we're no part of the world, we spare ourselves a lot of anxiety. And when it comes to morality, we know that this world is sunk into the sink of debauchery. It's at its lowest ebb, just like it was in the days of Noah. And in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. We have a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah today.
Oh, and it's
going from bad to worse.
Sure.
I often think of youngsters going to school, They teach them immorality. They even promote it, And because they don't know how to handle things, they, for the sake of expedience, say, well, you don't practice abstention. You can be promiscuous, but be very careful. Well, the Bible tells us not to even touch the unclean thing. Don't even get involved with those things.
Yeah, it's true. My daughter has a real struggle with
it's
with
a challenge
dealing with boys and
school,
all that.
Because their mind's in the gutter.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And
well, we can see that the way everything is going, it's got to come out to head. It's got to be climaxed at the end with this with the removal of this sordid system that comes off the face of the earth. Otherwise, the Bible says back in Noah's day, all flesh ruined its way on the earth. Well, look what's happening today. They're actually ruining themselves morally and physically and mentally. Look at the mental cases there are out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know it.
To keep yourself balanced and stable, you see, you have to avoid a lot of that thinking with this worldly propaganda.
Well, many of the brothers are wondering how close the end might be because of these things, and it's of course no one should speculate about that.
Now, we don't know the day nor the hour, but you can certainly see, like Paul says, wicked men and impostors will go from bad to worse.
Sure.
Deceiving or misleading and being misled. Not only are they misled, they mislead others, you see.
Sure.
And like Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, where are they going to wind up?
Sure. Well, that kind of brings me back around to one of the things I wanted to mention, because it seems to me that the organization these days is kind of coming under an attack, especially from these various, on this particular issue of child molestation and all, but in other ways as well. I have to relate a story to you. I don't know, a month or two ago, someone that I occasionally correspond with, a brother in California, told me that he sent to you a letter that contained a complaint about a supposed brother who was putting out all sorts of information on the internet against the organization. And he told me that the letter was anonymous, and I said, well, why did you do that? Well, he wasn't comfortable. Well, at any rate, he told me that he had sent the letter directly to you, and that the letter contained a bunch of information that this supposed brother had been claiming that the organization, based on his interpretation of Bible prophecy, was soon going to go down the tubes and so forth. And in the process of this, he was saying something like, people should listen to him and his interpretation of prophecy and all kinds of really crazy stuff. And I don't know this guy. He just seems to be an anonymous person that puts information on the internet. But I was informed that the guy the person who sent the letter and put the person's real name in the letter. I was curious if you had ever gotten that.
It may have. I don't know when he sent it.
Well,
I've been away in Europe on 2 trips, and sometime when I'm away, they save some of the mail, and then others has to be handled, so they just take care of it.
Oh, I see.
But if it's anonymous, well, we don't know.
Yeah,
they read that letter, but if it's anonymous, they can't answer it.
Okay.
They don't know who to direct their attention to.
Sure. Well, at any rate, that's the kind of thing. I mean, I keep seeing this from various sources that the organization is coming under attack.
Well, we know eventually it's going to come under an all-out attack.
Sure.
And that's bound to be because we know there's got to be a head-on collision eventually. The kingdom organization, you see, keeps moving ahead. Like the Bible says, they're going to fight against you. They're not going to prevail against you because I'm with you, saith Jehovah, to deliver you. Mm-hmm. And that's always been the case because right back to the book of Genesis, there's going to be hostility or enmity to the serpent. And the serpent, if he knows his time is short, he's enraged. And he goes forth to make war against the woman and the remaining number of her seed, and that's in Revelation 9:17. Well, we can see that. And the devil, if he knows his time is short, he's going to use everything at his disposal in order to make an all-out attack. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't for Jehovah's backing, like Paul says, if God is for us, who can be against us? You see, his support is what counts. And he's going to see the organization through. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On this attack theme, someone from Canada informed me that they saw over the weekend a story that was on Canadian Broadcasting Company satellite TV that was on Jehovah's Witnesses, and in this, I only got the barest little bit of information, but apparently they were in effect accusing Jehovah's Witnesses of being how do you say it of being friendly to pedophiles, which was
ridiculous.
Of course it is, but this is the kind of thing that I that may come out of this churning of people who are, against the organization. I don't know how widespread this story was, but the guy told me that it was broadcast a number of times over the weekend.
Well, a lot of that may be fed. It's just like last year, the Times, and somebody who's apparently deviated from the faith or an apostate. They picked the story up, and then later on they found out the source was unreliable, and so they had to quash it. They even had to publish a retraction. But you see, many times the news media will pick something up and not check the reliability of the source, whether it's authentic or not, and then they publicize it. But if they would get the facts straight initially, well, then it would spare them a lot of explanation later on when people write in and say, well, where did you get this information? It's certainly not the position that Jehovah's Witnesses take.
Sure.
And anybody who reads our literature knows that we're not friendly to pedophiles.